everything, and I'm going to snip out pieces later. And I have everything at a good volume level. So, move up. And let me down adjust the volume on the thing. Okay. So, in an astrocartography chart, there are three key components that one should observe. The first of which is the planet that is involved, the second is the angle, and the third is the location through which the line goes. So you'll see, for example, I can certainly see why you felt such a strong positive connection to New Mexico, because you have a Jupiter midhaven line, that pinkish line right there. So
Jupiter Midhaven, is that what we're looking at?
you see the glyph up there? That's the glyph of Jupiter. The angle
Okay,
is MC. Go ahead.
MC meaning.
Medium Kaeli, top of the sky.
Mhm. Okay, and where do we? And this is the. So this isn't the angular Jupiter line. Well, what's this AC then?
That's the ascendum Kaeli.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
And this is the medial,
The medium Kaeli, midhaven.
the midhaven. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's all Latin. Also, let me see if
Okay.
I can adjust your volume just a little bit, because the music is actually kind of drowning you out a little bit right now.
Is the music coming in? Is it coming in my thing?
Yeah, the music is louder than you are, to so to speak.
Okay. Okay.
It
I've
was
had it going
nice.
for a while. I can turn it down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was
Just I
nice.
needed
Okay.
yeah, I just needed it in the background and you in the foreground, since you're the one asking the questions.
Yeah. It's. I can't. I, actually, I might be able to turn it down
Yeah.
up there. Is it on?
I don't hear it, but that is
Okay. It's
okay.
back. It's back.
There we go. Yeah, so let's break it down. So where you go within your astrocartography uh,
Yeah.
will accentuate or heighten that particular planet's energy in
Mm-hmm.
that particular sector of your life. So with New Mexico
Mm-hmm.
being a Jupiter, especially central and central west New Mexico, as you can see there,
Yeah.
that particular area, and the closer you get to that line specifically, like you might say that all of New Mexico may affect it, but the closer you get to that line, the more prominent it feels. And you said you went
And
to Santa Fe,
we're
right?
talking about we're talking about here, right? This
Mm-hmm.
line here.
Yes.
This is Jupiter Midhaven line, yeah. And so I did. I went to Albuquerque and Santa Fe, and this is where the Colorado Plateau comes down through here,
Mm-hmm.
and so and it goes up like in this direction. So Santa Fe is kind of the very beginning of the plateau, like you could say.
So you were within approximately 100 miles, or about 200 kilometers, give or take, of that
Mm-hmm.
line there. So let's break down what's
Right.
going on. The the influence that Jupiter has in your life natally was
Mm-hmm.
shifted to your midheaven. The power that Jupiter has in your life was on public display and was deeply influential to your public reputation. It was a very visible thing, because this is the medium Kaeli we're talking about, the midhaven, the top of the sky, the most
Yeah.
visible part of a person's chart.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Jupiter is the hype man of planets. It's Santa Claus. It is a planet that provides support. It's a planet that provides a person's sense of how they think about abstract, spiritual, or complex concepts. And for the sake of the buzzwords, it is growth and expansion. So you will see there that not only was the Jupiter Midhaven line within about 200 kilometers of where you were, your
Right.
Uranus ascendant line there was, well, your Uranus ascendant line was present as well. And Uranus ascendant lines can be about significant, sudden epiphanies and changes and just sharp, sudden events in a person's life.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see that there definitely are a few epiphanies in this area that are 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 capable of happening in in one's life. So this is our Uranus line here.
Mm-hmm. That blue
Okay.
slanted line, yep. And it
And I
intersects.
remember it said some kind of thing about like it's more powerful from the east of this line. I think I don't know like what exactly that was talking about. And then this is the is this a Neptune
Yes, that's the Neptune ascendant line.
with the
Neptune,
trident?
yes, Neptune ascendant lines are places where your identity can become nebulized or hidden or otherwise obscured or unknown. Like it's a place where someone can lose their identity. And I've heard in some cases that it's places where people are likely to go missing as well. So keep that in
Okay,
mind.
okay, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best way to tell where is a good place for someone to go based off of their astrocartography would be to look at their natal chart, see which planets are strong or which planets behoove the native in their natal chart, then see where those planets line up with what angles in their astrocartography chart, and then say, hey, yeah, this would be a good place for you to go, for example.
Okay. So I was also interested that they have these harmonious and disharmonious aspects, um, uh, and we can see some disharmonious aspects appearing in this region. Quite a few of them, in fact. Some of them going through the West Virginia. There's this new line that goes straight through the district of no, I'm just kidding. But it does go through the heart of the Pennsylvania wilderness.
So
Um,
these are places that Astrodeist perceives that if you go to these places or you live in these places, that you will experience a significant or increased number of challenges during your
mhm.
presence there. I noticed that I believe I noticed that um toggling the disharmonious aspects there, that one of them goes right through your birthplace actually down there in Mobile.
It
And
does.
yeah. So
Yeah, it goes straight through my hometown, like where I was born, like right there. Yeah,
so what that is saying is that uh give me
super
just
close to this line. This is a disharmonious Jupiter aspect here. That's
yeah.
interesting.
So let's explore and let's talk about that.
Square
So
possibly.
yeah, it's hard for me to see the symbols because of the zoom. But if I am reading it correctly, which you may be able to help me, that's like saying
Yeah,
that's,
this
for
is
example, in Mobile, that Saturn squares, is that square or conjunct? Is that a circle or a square? I can't tell from here.
I think these are all squares.
Okay, so Saturn square midheaven is where your Saturnian challenges that you,
Please.
the duties, responsibilities, challenges, and restrictions that you encounter in these locations impede your ability to develop your public reputation.
Okay, and the public reputation aspect of it?
Midhaven.
Midhaven. Okay,
Yeah,
heard.
I
That's
atomized it
close
all
to
down
like.
for you in sequence.
Okay, nice, nice. Okay, cool. I love that. So, and could you remind me what this symbol means? It's like, uh, is that Mars? I forget.
Mouse away from it, so I might try to take a look at it. Oh my goodness, the symbol is just not showing up, period. Do you think you could
It,
send the chart to me by any
it's a
chance?
circle that has a plus beneath it and two lines coming off at a diagonal on top.
A circle that has a plus underneath it and two diagonals coming off of the top.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the oh, that's the Mercury ascendant line, is what that is. That right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um Toggle disharmonious aspects right quick. I want to see if that is, yeah, toggle that. So that's neither a harmonious nor disharmonious aspect. That's just
Yeah,
a factual
it's just
aspect,
like,
if you will. That
yeah.
having Mercury conjunct ascendant there means that in these particular places, your general personality or presentation to the world is of a person who is communicative and or skillful on the positive side of things. If it was negative, it could indicate a person who is dithering or treacherous. Because Mercury is a dual natured planet. It's a planet that takes on the nature of its environment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So whether or not Mercury is good or bad depends upon the context that Mercury resides in.
of course. So yeah, it's interesting seeing the disharmonious aspects, and then you've got these harmonious aspects, which seem to populate over here and over here in the middle of the ocean. But if we take a look at this zone, we can see a few harmonious aspects appearing.
Places where, for example, because again I can't read the symbols from here, but places where these planets may be conjunct, trine, or sextile the angles in question.
Okay.
Yeah, so every angle has its own. Every angle has its own part of your life which it concerns. So of course the ascendum Gaeli, your ascendant, is about your personality, your general affectation, uh, the way that you dress, things like that. The Imum Kaeli, the bottom of the sky, is about your roots, your foundations, the parts of you that are most private, most sensitive, and most hidden from the general public. The descendant is about the way other people on an interpersonal level interact with you. So, most people, for example, would prefer to avoid places that have Mars descendant or Saturn descendant lines because that means that Mars or that Saturn energy is going to be coming from somebody else, for example. And then the medium Kaeli, we discussed that. That's like your public reputation, how you are perceived by the general public.
So is this a
Yep, that's a
Mars descendant?
So you would want to avoid staying too long in places like Russia, Central Asia, I- India, the Indian subcontinent.
Kazakhstan. Yeah, the
hmm
Indian subcontinent
Yeah, you don't
generally.
want to be in Kazakhstan, man. They got too much potassium over there.
Hey, potassium's okay.
They are the number one export of potassium. I'm making a bow rat reference.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but let's see.
Let's see what the New Zealand looks like for kicks. There's a lot of islands out here, by the way. Look at that.
Oh yeah, and you have Mercury IC line going through New Zealand. You have Pluto AC line going through New Zealand. So New Zealand would be a place where you would get into deep thought and you would be secretly building new skills. new ways of thinking about things on a secular level, and a place where your identity would undergo the Plutonian transformations.
Okay, and with the effect of this moon ascendant line
You
through
would
here.
basically be wearing your heart on your sleeve in these places. Like your emotions would become much more readily apparent, especially in interpersonal relationships. And since you are a moon in Sagittarius, you would feel like the need. You might feel more like going out for more walks or biking or exploring. You would feel more escapist and adventurous out there, things like that.
Sure, sure. For sure. Yeah, thought that that would be a nice example.
Yeah.
Um,
So definitely New Mexico seems like it was a good place for you. You have a night chart. So Mercury, so it's interesting that Jupiter, which is less benefic in night charts, has proved to be, especially even because it's retrograde in your chart and it is ruled by Mars in Aquarius, and which is peregrine, so on and so forth, square by sign, you name it, this, that, and the third. It's rather interesting that the experience that you had in New Mexico was so transformative and inspiring. I think that that had
Absolutely.
I think that that has to do with the fact that Jupiter, uh, in both your natal chart and in this astrocartography, is in the diurnal side of the chart. It's in the day side of the chart, so it can shine the way it wants to. We could
Yeah,
take that with a grain of salt, though. Don't citation needed.
citation needed. Heard. Yeah. Um, hey, there's a reason why it's called the land of enchantment. I mean, I think that the land and the people who inhabit the land deserve some credit as well because like one thing they really understand out there is hospitality, um,
That's awesome.
and yeah, and good food and how to treat a stranger, and just yeah, uh, good old west vibes for sure. Um, I I can't. I mean, I just highly recommend it. I know you would love visiting any time of year, um, but especially during the yeah, just I mean, like any time of year, honestly.
Yeah, I have a Mars Midhaven line in New Mexico, and I can't tell precisely where it is because my astrocartography chart is a little bit different from yours. I know that the Mars Midhaven line in my case is maybe like 100 miles or so to the east of Albuquerque, but I definitely feel like, given that I'm a Mars and Gemini, it's a place where my voice would be heard a lot.
Oh my god, dude. Absolutely. There are so many organizations there, and of different kinds of, of people that um, are proud of who they are and are trying to like make a difference, and build a stronger community for sure.
Hmm.
Um,
I hate that
and
your place of birth. Well, I don't hate that. It's just a fact of life.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
rather
yeah.
interesting that your place of birth has that Saturn square midhaven line. So it must feel like Mobile creates some huge restrictions in your life or huge responsibilities that interfere with any desires that you have to make yourself well known.
It does feel that way to me sometimes. I wouldn't say all the time, but there are definitely stifling aspects
Hmm.
of being here, just for me personally.
Because that's what
But
squares are all about. You have two different energies, two different elements, two different signs that are competing for dominance, and there is an and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always impedimentary. Sometimes,
it's just some tension, right?
yes, it's friction, but sometimes power can be created through friction. Friction can provide ignition.
Right, and it does in the right context. It's just yeah, embracing that, um, and being able to work with it, like rather than against the tension, right? I think that's pretty important. So this has been a good review of the chart. I appreciate you going over it. I've learned a lot more about these uh, these lines and sort of how they might be, how the projections of some paths across the planet can you can sort of see the range of impact and sort of that that sort of stuff. If you want to share your chart, we could do that or not.
I would have to switch over the stream to my video, which I can do. Let me take a look. We're gonna unlock that and we're gonna put it to Periscope AstroClick Travel. And there we go. So we have harmonious and disharmonious aspects. Like for me, I have where I was born, not too far away from where I was born. I had Moon Square Midhaven, which is where my emotionality, or on an emotional level, it interfered with my personal reputation, or it gives me a desire to be my public reputation. It gives me a desire to enhance my public reputation. For example, let me take the harmonious aspects off. Yeah.
And you can share like share at your leisure, sir.
Oh yeah, I gotta share. I will see. I gotta do a thing. I gotta do a thing. Okay, transition time. Do.
Transition.
Let's see. I'm gonna share my screen and hope it don't blow up.
Hope it don't blow up.
Okay, and then we gonna go over to Discord, no, and then that's gonna do it. Good. And are you still able to see it?
Yes, yeah, I can see it just fine.
Okay, so yeah, now you're receiving the stream from Discord. The audience is receiving the stream from OBS. That's good. Um, yeah, and I do understand that take take these squares to angles with a grain of salt, because whenever you are on one angle, you are either going to form a square or an opposition to another angle. So those disharmonious aspects are just sort of a fact of life, and there's nothing that can be done to really avoid those, except, like, hey, stay out of the nuclear zones. Like, they're like, hey, my boy, don't go down there
That
to
bus is hot.
yeah, like, you gonna be mad down here. Say, don't go down to Durango, Mexico. Don't go down to
It's
Mazatlan.
so intense,
Oh,
man.
avoid
Yeah.
being in Sinaloa.
I was looking at the weather there, man. It gets and the air quality, it gets really bad down there for sure.
Yeah, it don't seem like the kind of place you would find me, but yeah, other than that, challenging places within my chart are relatively few and far between. Like, usually is like, okay, Saturn square ascendant. If I was over here in, like, let me go to North Central Europe. So yeah, for example, East England, or rather East United Kingdom, pair of there's a there's a line going straight through France where that might be somewhat of a problem. Oh, never mind. I can see the lines now. There they are. Okay, so actually for me the challenging would be like going through literally England. Like, they're like, okay, hey, don't be afraid to go up to, like, North England or come to Scotland, but you got to mind yourself when you come to Central England, for example, because your Chiron is going to square your ascendant there. So your greatest wound is going to negatively impact your personality, or your challenges and restrictions might negatively or cause friction to your personality over there. But take a look over here at the harmonious aspects. Ireland, Venus Midhaven, baby. I got that Venus in Libra, for example, too. And so like apparently I'd be a hot little thing over in Ireland, especially we can zoom in a little bit here. Also, I don't know why everything in oh, I know why it's all in German. It's because this is a Swiss German company. Like fun fact,
There you go.
did you know that the word Dienst in German means service?
No.
Yeah, so this is literally astroservice.com, Astrodienst. But yeah, like my chart is saying, hey, my man, you need to go over to the Republic of Ireland, and you need to go down to Lowry. You need to go visit them people over there in
In that
Lowry.
general area, yeah, in that
Mm,
general area, right? Like, find some towns like on the left and right of that zone, like, right, and
like Lowry,
if there's any
Athenry.
other if there's any other guys that are somewhat like nearby, or generally Galway, like maybe
Mm, yep, Limerick,
Galway, like, might
Cork.
be one of the biggest. Or and Limerick. Ooh, I bet Cork would be fun too.
Like
I've never
basically,
been to Ireland.
yeah, like basically, I'd be very highly welcome. I have no negative aspects in Ireland, and it's all green. That's that Irish right there. They would love me over there, according to this chart.
Dude, yeah. I
Hmm.
think that there will be some positive impacts to going over there. So, are you seeing some harmonious aspects in Denmark as well?
I'm seeing a lot of harmonious aspects just over
In
Europe
Sweden?
in general.
Yeah.
Like very many harmonious aspects in Western Europe in general, and very few negative aspects, but especially uh some positive aspects in, like, for example, hold on, let me scroll in a little bit. The Netherlands is like, yeah, come on, baby. Let me get that nice Mercury conjunct midhaven, Sun conjunct midhaven. Your personality and your the way you speak would be highly welcome and celebrated over there. And then combine that with the moon. Like, let me go over to Dordrecht right quick. Eindhoven. They gonna have me over there, or hell, even Belgium. You know what I'm saying? A few places in Paris, like Troy and Reims. They got me over there. So I need to go see about them. I want to see about Greece though. I want to see what's going on. What you got for me, Greece? We got Jupiter Midhaven lying for me over here in Reichland, as they say in Swiss German. We also got Saturn conjunct AC, which is considered harmonious, I guess, because like it can temper or reserve your personality. I try to avoid Saturn lines, but like Saturn lines are kind of a mixed bag because Saturn lines can make you a Saturn lines like do or die lines. Saturn's like if you straighten up, you act right, you be consistent, get up early in the morning, handle your business consistently, I will reward you. But if you lays around and slack off, especially with Saturn and Pisces, you gonna be lost. You gonna be waking up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, barely getting out of bed with 5 o'clock shadow if you ain't careful. That's how Saturn is.
Yeah.
But
Saturn can sneak up on you for sure.
Saturn's a sneaky zombie. Like, didn't I tell you to do what you're supposed to do? But yeah, all those
You know
things.
what you was supposed to be did.
You wasn't doing what you're
Okay.
supposed to be doing, so I gotta get at you a little bit.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna have to get on your case.
Impart some good old fashioned uh,
Discipline.
discipline and ball busting. Yes.
I will if you don't get in line, I will get you in line. That's how Saturn be. So yeah, places to avoid for me. Obviously, for me as well, I have very strongly conflicting lines over here in Central Asia. A lot of conflicting lines over here in Central Asia. Like almost all of my conflicting lines are like, hey, my man, I'm gonna need you to avoid Central Asia for me. I'm gonna need you to avoid Central Asia, South Asia. Don't be going over there in China. And if you could do me a favor, also kind of, just watch out for the Middle East. But the beautiful thing about those challenging lines is that the greatest challenges that they have to offer would be either in places that are in the center of the ocean per these circles here, or in like the just below the heart of Africa. So those are places that I probably won't be going anytime soon. Anyway, you ain't gonna see me in the middle of no ocean. If I'm on a boat, I'm gonna tell the captain, "Hey, my man, you got to steer around these things. I don't want to be out here. That's gonna be my boat." Yeah.
I'm on a boat.
But generally speaking, I have a lot of good places that I could go. There's harmonious aspects all through Central Asia too, so it's just a matter of taking the good with the bad and just seeing how reality realizes itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, and this isn't an exact thing, but it can give you a really nice insight. It feels like into the energy of a place, um, from the perspective of the planets.
Yeah. So if a person were to come to me and tell me, hey, I am going to this location, what I would do is I would draw up their astrocartography, and I would ask them what are their travel plans, like what places will they be traveling through so to get there. And I would look at the aspects that are created by traveling through their route and the aspects that are present once they arrive at their destination to tell them what sort of experiences they might encounter there.
Nice. I think that would be a valuable. I I'd be interested in that.
For sure. So, next time you planning on going somewhere, check in with me well before you go there, and I can suggest to you like how that experience is going to be based off of the intersection of your personal astrocartography within these places and the live global transits astrologically. I am
Very
your
nice.
astro traveling agent.
Travel agent. Well, put on your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to blast off into a new world. And as we
Mm,
do, we're gonna have some guidance to guide us
mm.
along our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this your captain speaking. Today, we gonna guide you through an all expenses paid fully equipped trip on the celestial mothership. And we gonna let you know what time it is when you get there. You gonna know how things are going down.
Thanks, X.
So
Feeling comforted already.
yeah. So
So sit back and put your feet up, and
mm,
also put your feet down and stand up
mhm,
and take a stretch and enjoy the ride because uh, it's going to be a fun one.
you riding on the space train today, baby.
That's right. And this train, it goes wherever your imagination takes it.
So we're about up on the 35-minute mark here, Thomas. Thank you so much for participating today, and for anybody who is interested in an astrocartography reading, my services you can get at me in the links below. It's going to be in the description and in the comments. So I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching.